Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. US President Donald Trump confirms talks with Iran following Tehran's announcement that it is ready to negotiate if discussions avoid threats and unreasonable expectations. Iranian President Massoud said talks should protect national interests, while Tehran's foreign ministry emphasized fairness and transparency. Trump highlighted both military preparedness and diplomatic dialogue, with ships deployed to the region as negotiations proceed. Meanwhile, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi reiterates that Iran is willing to resume dialogue, emphasizing fairness and respect for Iran's sovereignty and defense programs. India has agreed to purchase petroleum, defense equipment, aircraft, and other US products in a trade deal worth over $500 billion, aiming to strengthen economic ties and reduce the bilateral trade deficit. As part of the agreement, the US will cut tariffs on Indian goods from 25% to 18%, while India will halt Russian oil purchases and reduce trade barriers. The deal covers energy, technology, agriculture, pharmaceuticals, and defense, signaling deeper strategic and economic cooperation between the two nations. Chinese President Xi Jinping calls for China and Uruguay to work together to advance an equal and orderly multipolar world during talks with Uruguayan President Yamandu Orsi in Beijing, according to officials. Xi said the two nations should promote inclusive economic globalization, benefiting all, signaling Beijing's ambition to expand its influence and support a global order beyond a single dominant power. The leaders also signed cooperation agreements to deepen strategic partnership in areas like trade, science, and environmental cooperation. Orsi's visit, the first by a South American leader to Beijing since a US operation in Venezuela in January, aims to strengthen Uruguay's global standing, attract investment, and boost development, with a delegation of about 150 officials and business figures. Ukraine has reportedly agreed with Western allies that persistent Russian violations of a future ceasefire would trigger a coordinated military response from Europe and the United States, the Financial Times reported on Tuesday, citing officials familiar with the discussions. Reuters could not immediately verify the report. The multi-tiered plan, discussed in December and January, would see breaches of an agreed armistice addressed in stages. Initial responses would involve diplomatic warnings and Ukrainian military action to halt violations. If hostilities persisted, intervention would expand to a coalition of willing nations, including EU members, the UK, Norway, Iceland, and Turkey. An escalated Russian attack would trigger a full Western-backed response, including US forces, within 72 hours. Envoys from Kiev, Moscow, and Washington are scheduled to meet in Abu Dhabi on Wednesday and Thursday to pursue talks aimed at ending the conflict. On the other hand, Israel has reopened the border between Gaza and Egypt for people on foot, a move that would allow Palestinians to leave the enclave and let back in those who want to return after fleeing Israel's war in the enclave. The reopening of the Rafah border crossing will be limited, with Israel demanding security checks for Palestinians entering and exiting. Israel and Egypt were expected to impose caps on the number of travelers. Greenland's Prime Minister, Jens Frederik Nielsen, says the United States still wants control of the Arctic island, despite ruling out military force. Nielsen told Parliament that Washington's approach toward Greenland and its people had not changed. He said the US continues to look for paths to ownership and governance. President Trump has claimed full US access to Greenland under a NATO deal, though details remain unclear. The Kremlin has said that Russia is still trying to de-escalate tensions around Iran and that it had long ago offered its services to process or store Iran's enriched uranium. Asked if Russia was discussing with Iran and the United States the possibility of taking Iranian enriched uranium, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said the topic has been on the agenda for a long time. He added that Russia has been offering its services for quite a long time as a possible option that would lead to the removal of certain irritants for a number of countries. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.